Welcome, everyone, to Cecil's Unknown Achievers, the podcast that brings you those hardworking entrepreneurs you've never heard of. Today, I'm joined by a group of young entrepreneurs. Yes, they are young, they're teenagers, but they have a solid business plan and they're very community-minded. They're a group of young men who attend Oak Park River Forest High School, my alma mater, and their business is RippleServices. RippleServices is a digital service provider seeking to assist people as they grieve the loss of their loved ones. So I welcome to the podcast Grayson Adelstein, Joey Damaso, and Yvonne Gilman. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
All right, thank you for being here. All right, well, let's get started. When I learned about you, I discovered that you won a competition in your business incubator class. So I believe that class is an elective course, right?
Yeah. It is an elective.
Okay. So please share with us, why amongst the other options for electives did you choose the business incubator class? What was it about starting your own business that was attractive to you?
Yeah, I've always really been interested in business since like middle school, trying out different things, lemonade stands and whatnot. And when I got to the high school and I found out about the incubator class through my cousin who had took it the year before, it was definitely of interest to me. And it kind of just happened that everyone in that class was really, really interested in business, which is one thing that I haven't really seen in many other electives at OPRF. A lot of people are kind of just taking it to fill up their periods, but everyone in the incubator class was really into it. And we were kind of just placed into our group at random within the first few weeks. And we kind of just clicked and hit it off. And I mean, yeah, it was definitely something that I don't regret taking. It was a really cool elective option.
Yeah, for me, business and entrepreneurship has been a big part of my life. A few of my family members are also entrepreneurs. So in freshman years, I was meeting with my counselor, just going over electives. The course Business Incubator just immediately jumped out to me. So just being able to take it, and like Grayson said, just being randomly put into a group where we really did click and kind of found our footing was really cool to do.
Yeah, and then I would say for me, I really value being independent and having that higher role where I get to display some of my creativity and skills. And just being a part of this group, it really allows me to do that. So I'm thankful for the opportunity.
So you guys weren't connected before taking the class? Did you know each other, or were you friends before that? Or
yeah, we all went to middle school together.
Yeah.
I'd say I kind of knew of Grayson and Yvonne, but we never really had a conversation.
Yeah, it was like being in the class was the first time that all of us kind of interacted. I mean, Yvonne and I went to like Joey said, we all went to the same middle school, but Yvonne and I went to the same elementary school. So we've known each other for a while, but this was definitely like the first time we had been in this type of setting together.
Okay, great. So I'm sure in the class, it was discussed being a business owner versus working for someone else in their business.
Right.
What I know, a couple of you mentioned already, you were interested in entrepreneurship, and you said your family, own businesses as well. What really struck it for you to be, or as the benefit of being a business owner versus working for someone else in their business? What was really hitting it home for you?
Yeah, I could start. I mean, that really resonates with me because I have always liked to kind of do things on my own and be like hands-on and kind of be the leader, not really be the one who's following after the leader. I think there's definitely something special about being able to kind of orchestrate, facilitate, and kind of like actually execute ideas rather than kind of like working under someone. I think we definitely all share that quality. But yeah, I don't know if you want to.
Have you had other jobs, part-time jobs before?
Yeah, a few different ones.
Yeah, for me, I've kind of always seen myself as a leader and someone who like wants to do changes in the world. And I think sometimes just working beneath someone, that's not always a possibility. So just being on like the cutting edge with like a business that we started that really doesn't exist in the world, and just being the leader and being the one like all three of us driving those ideas was really impactful. Because I've been in a few part-time jobs where it's just like boxing pizzas or managing social media. So it's kind of like not the same feel as running your own business.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Like elaborating on my previous comment, how I mentioned you're able to have more like creativity, but you're also held to a higher responsibility. But like I feel like we really motivate and push each other to improve the business every day, because I've worked in environments where it's not always motivating or not always a positive work environment. So I can definitely appreciate it.
And now you can have an influence in shaping that environment because you're the one in charge, basically.
Absolutely, exactly.
All right. So I mentioned that Ripple Services is a digital services provider. Please tell us exactly how you go about serving your clients.
Yeah, so we're like a digital celebration of life, like you mentioned, and we kind of meet up with clients who we offer three services. So someone who has a loved one who's in hospice and near the end of their life, someone who recently passed, or someone who has like an anniversary of their loved one passing. We meet with the families and we compile photos, eulogies, memories, videos all together to kind of tell their loved one's story and bring those families and friends together. So yeah, we're kind of completely remote and can work with people all across the country and the world.
Yeah, so kind of how our process is like digital is, so it all starts with our consultation, and that's where we meet fully remote through Zoom or via phone calls, and that's kind of where we gather the client's needs. One thing that's really cool about our service is that everything is fully customizable. So none of the videos and memories that we've produced are similar to one another. They all kind of have a unique aspect, whether it be like a certain song that someone appreciates or like a different speaker, whether it be a religious element. So all of our videos are kind of built from the ground up, which is definitely a cool aspect. And yeah, it definitely has that digital feel, which is kind of when we embarked on this, we kind of wanted to bring this old fashioned memorial industry that's very much been set in stone for a lot of years to kind of like this new digital landscape. That was kind of the idea in mind.
And it's interesting. You're not only working with people who have already passed away, but people who are still living. You mentioned hospice, that
Right.
you're coming alongside those folks, trying to create some memories maybe that don't necessarily exist yet, so that if they do reach that end of life, that they have something that their loved ones can cherish
Yeah.
beyond just
Yeah.
seeing them, in the hospice situation.
A big thing for some of our clients who maybe have dementia is just kind of seeing their friends and family just talk about fun experiences, kind of just like help them remember their own life and celebrate it as they're still alive. I think people have joked about for years how like what it would be like to attend your own funeral, but we kind of want to give a small piece of that and kind of honor someone's life
Hmm.
while they're still alive, while their friends and family can be around and celebrate it with them.
That's an interesting twist, and I'm guessing probably a unique point about Ripple Services that you might not find with other people who are doing similar things as you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely sets us apart.
So what prompted? I know I read a little bit, Grayson, that you experienced a loss during the COVID-19 pandemic,
Mhm.
and the experience because we were not allowed to gather, and you had an experience that wasn't really nice or great or beneficial to you and your loved ones, that kind of probably push you into this. Tell me about that experience and what it lacked that you're hoping now to provide for your clients.
Yeah, it definitely, the main thing that it lacked was just like the organizational aspect. And it felt like the wrong, when it came to planning the memorial service before, the wrong people were doing the wrong things. It was a really stressful and chaotic time for my family. And I think Ripple kind of, this is one aspect of the memorial being this kind of celebration of life element. And it is one of the biggest parts of it because you kind of want to leave the family, the loved ones, the friends, with this kind of last memory of that person. And I think our service really lacked that when we left the Zoom meeting, and it kind of just felt like it was done. It was really unfortunate because I think it could have been done in a better way. And it really just lacked that like organizational aspect.
There was a lot of things in life that during that shelter in place period were different, that we all had to get used to, and that probably was one of the toughest things. And in
Yeah.
fact, people normally gather when someone passes away, and that's how you start the grieving process and go through it. But it
Right.
was tough, and I think what you guys are doing now is going to assist people even as we come out of that period.
Yeah,
definitely.
we've noticed that some of our clients didn't have like the opportunity to celebrate one of their loved ones' life during the pandemic. So a part of like our anniversary service, we want to help just on the 1 year anniversary or 10 years, we want to help just bring everyone back together.
Okay. Now you mentioned uh, the hospice. Who else do you see as a fit for what you're doing? Uh, the people who are not necessarily going through that life changing aspect, but is there anybody else that you think can benefit from what you do other than the traditional folks who are, nearing their end of life?
Um, I mean, we really have kind of mainly just identified the people nearing the end, the people that have just recently passed, and the anniversary. I'm not sure if like there are many other groups. I mean, we've worked with a few people at religious places, and those people are very inclined to use our services. So that's kind of been one of the other smaller segments. But yeah, for the most part, it's been the other three.
You have a background in video production? Is that kind of what formed the
Uh,
basis for what you're doing?
yeah, for me, yeah, I have a twin brother and we've been doing local like videography work around Oak Park. So I've kind of just taken this skill in videography and editing just to help bring that into Ripple and kind of edit all of our videos from the ground up, like Grayson mentioned earlier.
Okay. And how are you going about getting yourself noticed? What types of marketing tools are you using to get the word out about you?
Yeah, so for now, I guess how our business kind of prioritizes our marketing is word of mouth. So for now, we are visiting retirement homes and hospice care where we deliver brochures and business cards containing our information. So that's a
Yeah.
pretty strong point that we're trying to advance into our marketing.
Okay.
And we've also done a few different webinars with local senior groups in Oak Park and kind of talk to them about what we offer. We're also trying to get in, like Yvonne said, to a few of the retirement homes and kind of speak to the residents. And yeah, that's kind of been the main points, is just staying very community focused for now until we're able to kind of expand to a larger audience.
Okay. How are you being received by these businesses? You're some young guys in high school, and do you feel you're being taken seriously, or are they kind of pushing you off? Or how are you getting that?
I think the more and more we work with clients in these specific retirement homes, the more and more we build credibility.
Right.
I think we understand that we are three teenagers just kind of, walking into a retirement home, but we do want to kind of set up that community aspect. So we joined the local chamber of commerce. We set up meetings with like the marketing director just to discuss and help them understand that, we are a serious business and we can help the people who may be interested in our services.
Yeah, to add on to that, I think it definitely at the start did not come easy. People definitely didn't take us as serious at the start, but as we kind of built a name for ourselves, done a few different like news articles and other different publications, that's kind of gained some credibility for us to kind of show that we are around for the long haul, and this is something that we all do take serious.
So as you have been doing this for a little bit, what lessons have you learned? Is there anything that sticks out that you said, "Hey, we did this really well," and "Hey, maybe this we could have done a little better"? Anything you care to share about what you've learned about the experience?
I think for me, I know there's kind of two things that we've learned. The first being like kind of the communicative side, just communicating with these families that are going through really hard times in their life, and kind of just remembering that, yeah, this is a business, but we need to be very thoughtful and considerate. And at the end of the day, these are people's lives and these are their loved ones that they have many memories with. And we really just want to execute these memories in a good way that kind of leave them in the best way possible. And then I think the second is just kind of dealing with our clients' needs. I mean, Joe could probably touch more on this since he does the video editing, but there's a lot of different changes in the video editing process. A lot of people want to make a few photos and videos last longer within the video clip or
Hmm.
something shorter, a lot of different editing changes. And we really always try to accommodate that and be like as flexible as possible, because just kind of to wrap it up, we want like the video to just serve in the best way possible.
Yeah, I think for me, as I was editing our first client's celebration of life, her husband passed away 2 years ago to cancer. And then she sent me all the photos, and I had it lined up just from him, like as a baby to high school graduation to weddings to first kids. I think for me, and I can speak for the group, that it was definitely a big impact on us, that like this is like what we can do with our business. So I think, as cheesy as it is, I think it helped us learn to like celebrate our lives and, not take any moment for granted.
Absolutely. I mean, having these relationships with these clients, I'm sure touches your hearts as well, because you're kind of guiding them through this process, which is a tough process.
Yeah.
But it'll benefit you and how you approach your own lives too.
For sure.
So next, I want to talk about area that a lot of entrepreneurs kind of struggle with, and that's the area of properly managing their time. You are all students, and I assume your studies are your priorities. So how are you fitting in your schoolwork and other high school related activities with running your business?
I think when we first had, this as a class and we had 47 minutes every day dedicated to it, that was definitely much easier. But as we transitioned away from it now being its own business, separate from the school, we've had to learn, like you said, how to manage our time. I know for me, sometimes editing, I'm just doing it during lunch or during a break during class, just trying to get the client's video done in time. But we have this regular meetings every week where we meet up and just like debrief about what's going on, future tactics in the future, updates.
Yeah.
Now, how do you break down the workload between the three of you? Or is there one person specializing in a particular area?
Yeah, so we all kind of are specialized in different areas, like you said. So Yvonne really focuses and hones in on the marketing, Joey doing the video editing, and I kind of do some of the financial stuff. So coming up with our product and service offerings, and then managing all of like the email outreach and kind of like partnerships.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in your senior year right now, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, all of
right.
us are
So
seniors.
you're nearing your end of your time at OPRF. Tell us about your plans for the future.
I'll start.
Sorry.
Okay. I know for me, I definitely want to go into business. My plan is to major in marketing at some college. I'm not sure exactly where yet. But I do plan on running Ripple into college, because I think for a lot of our clients, we kind of made a promise that our business will be here when they'll need us. So I want to continue. I think I can speak for everyone that we want to continue that and just have Ripple still running 4 or 5 years in the future, hopefully, when it will be a little bit more busy. But yeah.
Yeah, and I'm planning on pursuing a degree in business as well, with probably a concentration in finance or general entrepreneurship. Not sure where yet, but I'll probably know in a few months or a few weeks when I find
Close,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then similar to the other two, I would like to pursue a career in business and marketing, and not sure where yet either, but I've prioritized places in Michigan, Colorado, and Washington.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so as we close out here today, what would you say is the most important thing people should know about you and RippleServices, what you're all about? What would you say to someone who's kind of on the fence of going a different route, maybe not even doing something like this, versus working with you?
You want to start?
That's a good question. I think if someone was on the fence with kind of making the video on their own, which a lot of people do, I think that I would tell them this will change the experience of yourself at the memorial service, everyone in attendance, because it really is a life-changing experience to watch this professional video. I don't really even consider it a video. It really is a long-lasting memory, and I think everyone deserves and needs that at their celebration of life service.
Yeah, I would add that we don't use like drag and drops software when editing. Like, it's really exactly what the client's vision is when we create it. So it is kind of like preserving the memory of their loved one. We kind of want to just give them that, where it's in a digital platform, so they can have it forever.
Yeah, it really is like a long-lasting memory.
Yeah, just making sure to spread their legacy and kind of connect it to the name, how we want to outreach as many friends, family members, loved ones, and everything in between where we want to make sure that they have had like a hard life and that they are appreciated throughout everyone.
Yeah. The idea of Ripple, the name, which Yvonne came up with, do you want to explain, I guess, how you came up with the name?
Yeah, so Ripple kind of having like a simplistic kind of modern like outview, but trying to, yeah, just reaching as many people as we can with someone's legacy and someone's name and their actions.
Yeah, I love the visual of it. You know, the ripple and the lake. It really hits home, and it gives a great visual of what you do and what you're all about.
Thank you.
Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. How can folks get a hold of you and reach you to possibly hire you and learn about you?
Yeah, so we have a website, ripplememory.com, and we have different ways to contact us on there, whether it be our phone number or email to set up a consultation there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for being on Cecil's Unknown Achievers. I wish you the best of luck, although you won't need luck because I can tell already you guys are gonna be setting the world on fire and helping a lot of people with this. It's a great service.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, thanks for joining me as I spoke with the student entrepreneurs of RippleServices. They offer a great service for creating keepsake memories of your loved ones. Please reach out to them at ripplememory.com. That's RippleMemory.com. Until next time, this is Cecil Archbold Jr. with Cecil's Unknown Achievers.